Hello, welcome everybody. We are in the H2O Center in Gili here, and I am with Panda. I just received a workshop of 1 week and it was amazing. So I wanted to do this interview to share and to give you some information and to present you Panda. We have made already an interview about your work.
Right, yes.
When you said everything about what you're doing, and now after 1 week
you have a better idea.
I have a better idea.
Yeah, more experience now, you could say.
I received so many blessings and knowledge. I'm so happy. One important point is about the teacher. Because we were doing Qigong,
right.
And you said, and this is very true, that the most important thing is a teacher, whatever we are doing finally.
Yeah.
Could we talk about it?
Yeah, I always say you only get what your teacher's got. So the teacher is always the representation of the art form or whatever you're doing. So never blame the art forms themselves, because the art forms in their essence are all perfect, they're all great. But the problem is the people that are transmitting that, maybe their experience is not totally complete, or maybe they've taken a different route than what the essence of that teaching is. So you can't really blame the work itself or whatever you're interested in. It always has to do with the teacher's transmission of the art form or whatever that you're learning. So it comes down to that, because so many times we get involved and we take something because of the title or the name of it, and then we think, oh, okay, that's what I would like to receive, that's why I go there to learn that. But you find out after you've been there maybe that it was not very satisfying, or was not really what you were looking for, and maybe because you read about it or what the essence of that practice was. So again, it comes down to the teacher. So it's not the art form itself. So many times we're misled by the labels and the forms and the names.
Yes, I have noticed, and what you say is very true, that I was able to feel more because I was in your presence, and it was the same for the other students. So when the teacher is feeling something, and when we are in his presence, it's more easy for the student to feel, especially in Qigong, because we are feeling the hair. And
right.
So why, how it works? My question is how it works. Why we can feel because you feel?
Okay, first of all, this teaching that I'm presenting is like the ancient teaching, which is basically the teaching with no teaching. Okay, it works through presence. It doesn't work through technique. Now this is in the ancient times. This is how it used to work. But because we became so mind-oriented, people started to teach from their mind and not through essence, and that's something different. And you get mind information, which doesn't is very different than soul information. Okay, soul information basically affects your whole being. It's actually has a little bit to do with your mind, not so much. Okay, so that's the main the teaching that I'm presenting. So it's important for the people that are coming to me that they have an experience, because that's what I received from my teacher. As I received an experience, a complete experience that touched my body, my mind, and my spirit. And that's what I'm transmitting in class, a whole experience, which again, any type of transformation that we receive, it's because it's touching upon the 3 different facets of us, which is the body, the mind, and the spirit.
And it's working very well, because I was able to feel the transformation. Can we say that finally the technique is not important? What is important is the presence of the teacher.
That's right. In this type of teaching, yes.
And
yes.
I have noticed that a lot of students were very tired because of the energy. And can we say that everything is happening in a subtle level, and everything, the most important thing is invisible from the eye.
That's totally correct.
And so the teaching you're giving, how have you received it?
I received it the same way that you're getting it. I received it through how do I say, through consciousness and through invisibility. So it's something that happens, like you notice in class, things are happening to people.
From which master?
Well, I had a few different masters, but one of them was Punjaji, which is called Papaji, and he was a direct disciple from Ramana Maharishi. So he was one of my important teachers, and I had a few other ones also. And these teachers that I received the most from, it was again not technique, it was coming through presence. So by being with them, I got to experience what you would call God or truth or no mind, or I don't know what to call that, and that's what I'm sharing with people now.
Can we say that it's like radioactivity because we are receiving something from the present?
You could say it's invisible waves of vibration, I guess.
Yes.
Which is like consciousness, basically. It's actually, for me, it's very physical, because I'm experiencing something physically inside myself, but even though you can't see it, and that goes out in the consciousness, and then people start to experience that also.
But we can feel it.
Yeah.
We can't see, but we can
again,
really feel it.
Yes, but again, how do I say, maybe people don't feel it in the beginning because they have so many resistances inside of themselves, but slowly your resistance will break down, because underlining everything is this presence, which is actually, I don't know, how do you call it, emptiness? Maybe would be the thing. And there's nothing more powerful than that, because that's the essence of nature. So even if you're resisting, after a period of time, you will slowly let your guard down, and it will come in if it's consciously present.
Many students are already enlightened in the soul or in the mind, and we can talk about enlightenment of the body, because when we're talking about feeling and sensitivity, this is the third part, and I have the feeling that many students are forgetting the physical part in the spiritual path. So that's why I'm happy to have tested this.
Yeah, my experience is most people are relating to their mind. Most people,
yeah,
okay?
That's true.
And then what's second is people relating to their body. And then, if you're lucky, some people relate to their spirit. Now the thing is, the problem, why that is one, the mind basically relates to the ego, okay? Because those are thoughts, and basically all thoughts are your ego. So that's why that one's the most popular. Okay, then we have the body. We're using our body every day, so people relate to that by doing sports, or they do that. Now the last one, the soul, nobody really understands that, because it's not tangible. It's formless, and that's very hard to grasp. So even in my lineage, when because I'm doing Tai Chi since I'm young, since I'm like 12, so for more than 40 years, and the first 15 years or so, I was only relating to the physical, because I had no experience of the non-physical, the spiritual realm, because my teachers didn't have that. They only taught me forms, and they taught me material things, physical things, but they didn't transfer to me the experience what I received from my spiritual teachers. And even I've been to so many spiritual people, and many of them, they only transferred to me material things and physical things, because they also did not have the consciousness or the realization of non-material. So that's why it's very difficult to find a teacher that can give you the non-material, because that's very difficult to make tangible, because it's intangible. But there are people that I say realized people that are conscious of this. And if you have the opportunity to meet such a person, then you're very blessed to have the experience of no mind or formlessness, which gives you then the capability to recognize what that is. But before that, it's very hard to recognize because you don't have the experience yourself. So it's very difficult. Usually we can only recognize what ourself has experienced. Yeah.
And can we talk about this alignment between mind, body and spirit, and why is it so important, and what is the consequence of this alignment?
Okay. Yeah, okay, through my work and through my realizations, I realized that basically we are body, mind, and spirit. These three elements which correlate to the Holy Trinity, which is Father, Son, Holy Ghost. Father representing Supreme Consciousness, Son representing the physical body, and Holy Ghost representing the spirit or the soul. So these three are the pillars of our essence of what we are. When we touch upon all three of them, we have something that shakes us to our very core. So as you notice, like in class, we're working on all three of these, and because of that, people start transforming. They start to have like a real transformation happen to them. And that's why, because we are connecting to all three. Now, what I call the disalignment, or the not having these three in align, and I'll give you an example of that. So for instance, when I'm speaking, what I'm thinking is not what I'm speaking, and what I'm speaking is not what I'm doing, my actions. So those three are out of alignment, fragmented. So the problem, most people are like this, and people, they're not aware. They don't mean it. They don't mean not to think like and say what they're thinking, or then not to act. It's just that they're unaware that they're not in synchronization, or they're not in alignment. So it's like getting those three in alignment, then we become whole. Okay, and then we can also receive the information, or the essence of the essence of creation, that truth or whatever, and because that is us actually. And then when we're in line, we start to feel our own honesty, our own truth, our own connection to God, our own connection to ourselves.
What is happening in our life when we are aligned? What is changing?
Your ego doesn't play such a big part anymore. It starts to get information from the other two centers too, which is again the God consciousness, or I call it grace. Grace starts to come into your life more and starts to help you, or to help guide you also.
Can we say that we are aligned with the source, which some people call God or infinite consciousness, and everything is more on the flow when we are aligned?
Yes, you could say that. You could say like when we're in alignment, we feel that presence more easily, and we listen to it more easily.
And can we say that it's more divine life, more sacred, more connected with nature?
It's more harmonious, let's say that. It's more truthful, it's more harmonious, and it's the invisible aura that actually protects us. Yeah, like little babies have it. And then they lose it because they start thinking, and they start coming out of alignment. So all living things have this alignment. You could say it's like Star Wars, it's the Force, and then you're one with the Force.
In the workshop, something very interesting about nature. I have realized that nature is enlightened, and the more we are natural, and the more we do like nature, and the more we find our own nature, the more we are in the flow, the more we are happy, the more we are enlightened. So what is the relationship with nature and enlightenment?
Okay, all nature is enlightened.
I have understood this.
Okay. It's our disassociation with nature that makes us, separated from it. Okay, so this is a very interesting thing. When we were working today, this came to me, and it was like, when we rely on ourselves basically to navigate our life, basically we're using our mind to do that, and and a lot of times we don't like how our life is going, You know, we like it to change or like it to go a different way. So that question arises then, how do I do that? How do I get a better commander, say, at the head of my boat that is driving my boat to guide me? And well, it was interesting because when we were doing the exercises, it was coming to me like, you know, all the exercises we do, they're not to do with our ego. They're to do with the natural function of our body. So actually, I'm letting go of my control, and I'm starting to listen to the natural function of my body. Yeah. So
yeah, our body is natural.
Yeah.
By default.
Yeah. Exactly.
When the mind do not intercept.
That's right.
Okay.
So by doing all these natural exercises, I'm giving my willpower or my ego over. So the natural process can take hold of me. So that's what starts actually happening in class, because we're doing everything from the nature point of view of our body, that I'm giving my power to the nature. So, you know, for 3 hours or 2 hours or whatever amount of time we work every day, you're allowing nature to guide you.
And it depends of the teacher, and sometimes people do yoga, qigong, sport with the mind and not with the body.
Right. And then that's what you will receive.
Yeah, and
Right.
this is what you explain. Can you give more details about this? Because maybe a lot of people have no idea about how to choose a good teacher, and how they can feel that the teacher is giving something more minded than more physical, you see?
Okay.
Because when we don't know, we don't know. At the beginning, we don't know. So
that's
how,
true. You know,
what can we do?
My teacher, Papaji, he said, which I've always remembered, he said, because he also said, you know, there's a lot of charlatans out there, a lot of people that are not real. And how do you know? And he said to me and to the people that were sitting with him, he said, if you go to somebody and you sit there with them, whatever they're doing, whatever it may be, if they make you quiet, that's good. Stay there. Because there's nothing more honest than that. Okay? People have fancy ideas or fancy concepts and do fancy things and lots of technique and things like that. But if they don't make your mind quiet, it's actually not real. Okay? The only thing real is what's underneath all the movement and all the noise. And you'll arrive to silence. This is uncorruptible, unmanipulated. Okay? And that's what truth is. Real truth is unmanipulated, uncorruptible. So if you go somewhere and they make you quiet, then that's a good sign that there's something good going on there. Some truth is being revealed there. Okay, and you'll notice in class that's what happens to people.
That's why everyone is sleeping.
Yeah, we're going into no mind. People are dropping into no mind. And yes, that's the most nourishing thing for your soul, actually, is to go to the empty place. Because there's no worries, there's no problems, there's nothing there except for love, peace, and joy.
And when we are students, sometimes we're tired. What is your recommendation about the speed of how long we can do exercise, how long we can stay with teacher? How do we connect ourselves? How can we be natural to find our own speed? Because for some people...
okay, this is a good question. Okay, in the beginning, you know, we're not connected. So that's the first thing. You need to get connected to yourself. Now, it's really important, you know, if you want to get connected to yourself, you must find a teacher that empowers you and not takes your power away. Okay, so that means somebody that encourages you to be you and not tell you what to do. Okay, because when somebody tells you what to do and to follow them, they take your power away. When somebody gives you back your power, they say, okay, I want you to feel yourself. I want you to understand who you are and listen to yourself. They're empowering you, giving you back your power. They're not saying, okay, follow me, I know the best way. No, I want you to discover for yourself what is good for you, so you get your power back. And by that, slowly you'll feel yourself. And when you feel yourself, you'll start to know what is the amount of what you do is good for you.
Okay.
So it's a process.
When we are too much tired, we can make some pause and
you know, you
take
saw
time.
Yeah.
And what about integration? How what we are learning is integrating us?
Yes.
How
Into
does
daily
it
life,
work?
you mean?
Yeah, integration in our body. Because after 1 week, I can see the integration is very quick and it's very.
It is very.
Interesting.
It is very quick, but again, it has to do with habits and patterns. You know, we have so many habits and we have so many patterns. Like, okay, you came here now for 1 week. Okay, now you have, like, say you're 30 years old. You have 30 years of training not to come to yourself. Now you have 1 week of coming to yourself. Well, you know, there's a big difference there in balance, right? So you either have to keep a practice up, you have to come back to class, or be in the influence again of people that bring you back to yourself, so you can remember what that is and not fall into the pattern that is so built up, that is so strong in the habit of going back. And so that's the danger that many people have. They fall back into their old pattern. And the only way to not do that is to become more conscious and more aware. So when you see the pattern start, you can already break it and do something different so it doesn't continue.
Thank you very much, Panda. Maybe we can give a blessing to all the people looking at us. So
okay, I'd like everybody to know that you're all perfect and you're all beautiful in your essence. So be happy. Don't worry so much. Don't be in the mind so much. The mind is what keeps you from experiencing your perfectness and your beauty. So again, you're all perfect and you're all beautiful. And I love you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much.